Okay, thank you. My name is Sarah Musalindunda, an employee of Bureau, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Working as the coordinator of Data Science Center. I'm manager data science and data dissemination. Thank you.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to say hello to my colleagues, both from the Global Partnership and the KNBS. I'm Ivan Ojeda, the National Director of the NSO. Sorry for the delay. It's a pleasure to be able to meet you, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be able to discuss in this meeting.
Thank you so much, Mr. Acosta. Is Sarah also able to give us a quick introduction before we open it to the wider team from Paraguay? Sarah, can you hear me? Okay, as Sarah is...
Hi everyone.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm in a noisy background, but I'll try to at least participate in the meeting. My name is Sarah Omache, also working with Sarah, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Yeah, I'm following. I might be writing in the chat too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarah. And now we'll hand it over to the team at INE to introduce themselves and let us know a little bit more about the need behind why do you need to build a data center and how you plan on going around that. So I'll hand this over to you.
Yes, good morning. I'm going to ask the National Director, he just joined, if he will introduce himself so that he will do an introduction. Mr. Director, please. Yes, good morning. Again, it's a pleasure to be here. Basically, what we are doing, we're in the process of modernizing the Paraguay NSO. We've succeeded in getting a new act, a new legislative framework starting in 2020. The appropriate regulation was issued in 2022, and right now we're fully dedicated to, let's say, growing in terms of infrastructure. So exploring the possibility of working in a coordinated fashion with some NSOs, which are benchmarks for us in terms of infrastructure growth, technology growth, but also in terms of legislation. Also because of the global partnership, for a few years we've been visiting the facilities at Rwanda's and so where we've seen significant growth and an ideal infrastructure. So basically what we are aiming at is learning how you've succeeded in getting to that level of development. I also understand that the British government has supported these efforts. So basically we want to learn some more about this process and then make some proposals and find out a way to cooperate. If I may, I agree with the director's words. I just want to highlight the support that we're getting from the Global Data Partnership. We're facing brand new challenges that involve all of these changes that the director mentioned. Actually, the possibility of working in building ODS indicators has opened some doors or put us in the face of new challenges in order to include new methodologies as well as mechanisms that will enable us to provide response to public policies, the requirements of society concerning the information needs that they have in order to ensure the country's growth. This is because in this process that we're being supported by the Global Partnership we've seen that progress that Kenya has made and the possibility of being able, the excellent work that they're doing, and see how easy it would be to replicate this. So I agree with what the guests have said about the Kenya director's accident, and I hope that he is fully recovered very soon. And the statistics innovation head at the Paraguay's NSO. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oscar, for that introduction into why why it's necessary to have this discussion, not only to learn from one another, but also to discuss what has actually come out of the building of a data center. I'll now hand this over to Kara to take us through the next few things in the agenda.
Okay, thank you very much for those introductions. Now we're inviting our colleagues from the Kenya NSO in order for them to make a presentation on their experience when planning and currently having a big data center in place. So I'll now give the floor to my colleagues from Kenya.
Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'll be doing, this one was supposed to be done by the director, but now because he's not feeling well, I will do on his behalf. So, this is peer exchange between Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and INE Paraguay on establishment of Data Science Training Center. We want to share our experience, insights, and learning. So my presentation will cover introduction, vision and goals for the center, planning phase, resources allocation, pilot projects, capacity building, challenges faced, and our future plans. So introduction on what motivated, or rather what made us have the idea of coming up with the Data Science Training Center. It's because data science is revolutionizing the way statistical analysis is being conducted. And that's because it's enhancing accuracy, efficiency, and the relevance of data-driven decisions. So Kenya National Bureau of Statistics is committed to improve quality and scope of national statistics and aims to leverage data science for better insights and policy making. And this is what led to establishment of a dedicated center to harness data science techniques to support various departments within KNBS with advanced data analysis capabilities. Now, apart from that, we also have global trends, which also influence our decision to come up with data science. So global trends in data science adoption was also one of the motivations. And that's because many national statistics offices worldwide are adopting data science. And a good example is UK Office of National Statistics and US Census Bureau. I think these are the organizations most of NSOs are looking up to when it comes to data science and use of big data and traditional statistical methods in generation and reporting of official statistics. Also, adoption of data science is seen as best practice for modernizing statistical system. This is to say that we are not focusing only on Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Our focus is on national statistical system as well. So we have the vision and the goals. So vision for the Data Science Center was to establish a state-of-art data science center to enhance national statistical capabilities and also become a leader in data science and analytics, driving innovation in statistical practices. That was our vision when we were establishing data science. The first one is to enhance our national statistical capabilities and become a leader in data science analytics, driving innovation in statistical practices. Our short-term goals is, the first one is to set up infrastructure and technology needed for the center. The other one is to recruit and train a team of skilled data scientists and analysts, and to launch initial pilot projects to demonstrate the value of data science in statistical system. So those are the short-term goals for the center. And we also have our long-term goals, which are to integrate data science methodologies across all departments of Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. Second one is to develop advanced data products and services to support government and private sector needs, and to foster a culture of continuous learning and innovation in data science. The first one, that means that we want data science to be embraced in all departments of Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. And the second one, it means that we are focusing on the needs of the government and also private sector. That's to say, our major focus is users of our statistics. And also to foster a culture of continuous learning and innovation in data science. You know that data science is ever growing. So where we were yesterday is not where we are today, and maybe tomorrow we will not be there. So we want to have a culture of continuous learning and also improving our skills every day. Planning phase. Now, planning phase is now where we came up with now how to implement the idea. Now we had the idea of coming up with data science, but how are we going to do it? So the first one was initial brainstorming sessions. So we conducted meetings with internal and external stakeholders. We identified key objectives and scope for a data science center, discussed the potential challenges and solutions. That was in part of initial brainstorming session. The other one is stakeholder identification. You know, at the end of the day, we couldn't do it all by ourselves. So here we are new in data science. We are trying to come up with something which we do not have experience in. So we needed to come and involve more people who are going to help us, or rather to assist us to implement our idea. So in that, we had to engage stakeholders. And so we identified stakeholders who are going to help us, identified key stakeholders to support the initiative, which included Statistics Sweden, ONS, GPSDD, academia, among others. So all these stakeholders are playing important role in the growth, and they also played an important role in the establishment of the data science. So we brought them on board and engaged them through consultation and feedback sessions to get to know what would this idea entail and how we would push forward with it. So we did the needs assessment and gap analysis, and to do that, we conducted the data needs assessment to understand the current capabilities and the gaps we have in Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and the NSS. We assessed the existing data infrastructure, tools, and human resource. so that we may know what we have, the infrastructure we have, the tools we have, the human resource we have, and their capabilities, and whether we are able to implement our idea successfully. We also identified specific areas where data science can add value to KNBS operations. And that was the part of planning. We all know that planning phase is the most important and also the most hard part of it. So after doing that, we did a resource allocation, that is budget planning and funding. So for this one, we did not have a huge budget for that. So we worked with whatever we had at the moment. So we estimated the total budget for establishing the data science center. We identified the potential funding sources, including government grants, international partners, and private sector partnerships. So here the resources included the money which comes from the government. We also brought on board international partners and private partnerships so that we may hear what they could offer, and in terms of funding and also in terms of other supports. We also did human resource, that is skills and expertise required. We identified the skill sets required for the data science team, including data scientists, analysts, IT specialists, and project managers. Implemented training program to upskill existing staff, ensure continuous professional development. Now, I would like to talk about the training program. Now, after identifying the skills we needed, at the moment, we did not have the budget to hire new people to come and fill in the gaps. So we had to start with the staff which we had. So what did we need to do? We needed to train them, to upskill them, so that we may have the skills which we need to start running the data science training center. And also with that, we ensured continuous professional development, which, as you know, that we have been partnering with the global partnerships for the capacity building opportunities. So continuation of resources, we also identified the infrastructure needs, hardware, software, and facilities. So we identified the technological infrastructure required, including servers, data storage solution, and high-performance computing resources. Those who visited our data science training center, you saw some computers. So we also came up with the specifications of the computers which we needed. We selected appropriate software tools for data analysis, machine learning, and visualization. We started with open sources, which are R and Python. We also have other big data technologies like Apache, Kafka, which are also open sources. So, and also we secured space for data science center. So we initially were using that place as a training room. So we secured it and upgraded it to a training to data science training center. So we secured that place for data science training center. So we also had logistical considerations, which are we developed a detailed time frame for procurement and setup of the infrastructure. We established processes for maintaining and upgrading the technology, and also ensure compliance with data security and privacy regulations. And so you are aware is that some of the big challenges when it comes to implementation of data science is data security, because you may find that like when we are web scraping, you could be extracting some information which you shouldn't be extracting. So we had to consider that when we are accessing other people's websites, and for that we actually got permission from the organizations we are web scraping from to access their websites. So pilot projects, we have web scraping for CPI, real estate data. This one, we are still at exploration level, or rather stage. We have not implemented it for official statistics. We have to go through some processes. We have to, because we are working with a team which produces CPI, we have to bring them on board. They have to keep on advising us on areas of improvement, and we are working together to make sure that at the end of the day, we are going to integrate the web scrapped data with the data which is going to be collected from the market, and at the end of the day, we can produce CPI using the web scrapped data. We also have the estimation of carbon emissions from road transport sector, which we did with support of a fellow from global partnerships. We have also we have created Kenya Household Master Sample Framework. That is to make sure that when we are going to the field, we don't need all those hard copies. We can just query the sample size and the areas where we are targeting, and be able to incorporate in our surveys without having to go through a lot of processes. We have also automated quality checking for agriculture data collection. That is when we were doing a pilot for agriculture census, we were using the automated quality checking. For this one, we were using R code. And for data collection, we were using Survey Solution. So we integrated the data collected from Survey Solution through our server into the script which we had written, and we were able to see the progress of our survey using a dashboard. Now we, as I've said, we are starting our census of school tomorrow. So for that, we also have a dashboard. We have automated quality checking for census of schools data starting tomorrow. So we are going to be able to look and see the progress of our survey, and also can be able to flag errors and communicate to the supervisors and the enumerators so that they can work on errors at real time. The other one is distance computing using algorithm, whereby you can be able to estimate the distance and the time you are taking from one point to another based on the algorithm and the dashboard, of course. And then capacity building, we have offered both in-house training opportunities to staff because we have attended external and internal workshops. We also encourage knowledge sharing and collaboration among staff. Now, this is the biggest now part of it all. You realize that most of these opportunities of having workshops and also external and internal workshops, they are quite expensive because in most of times they are very limiting, especially external workshops. We find that the organization which is inviting you is inviting only 2 people out of the entire team. So you find that you will need to come and share knowledge and do what I'm calling their collaboration among the staffs. We have also collaborated on research projects. For example, I've talked about global partnerships. We partnered with them for the dashboard which we are using tomorrow. It's a partnership between eStat and Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. So it's we are learning through project partnerships as well. The other one is partnering with the CSOs and regional organizations to train the staff. Like, for example, we have a regional hub, which has webinars frequently, like once a month, which are targeting several topics. Like each and every month, they have different topic. So we usually encourage our members to attend to those regional trainings. And also CSOs, we also have, like I said, CSOs and other partners who are coming to capacity builders and also do project with us. We also provide access to online courses, webinars, and professional courses. Now that is to say, we have online courses which are, some of them are free, others are paid for. So we share the links with our staff so that they can learn, because most of learning in data science is a personal initiative. and it has to come from somebody. So they have to sit down and do it by themselves. So we share online courses, we share with them webinars, and also we have provided professional courses links which they can learn through. We also encourage participation in data science competitions, hackathons, to foster practical skills. Now, we have challenges which we have faced during the implementation of our data science training center. Of course, we had insufficient ICT infrastructure. We have 24 computers. I know we would have wished to have more. And then, of course, storage, like when we talk about big data and all that, it requires a lot of storage. And that one means that you have to incur cost of purchasing new storage infrastructure. And it's not a solution which you get once. You start somewhere, and then with time you keep on improving the situation. So that is one of the challenges which we faced. We also capacity building and integration of data scientists within Kenya National Bureau of Statistics establishment. Capacity building here comes in because we started with the employees who we had. And so that means that we had to capacity build them in a new line, and integrating data scientists within Kenya National Bureau of Statistics establishment. Now, data scientist is not a cadre in Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. So we were training this statistician to be data scientists to work in Kenya National Bureau of Statistics because that is what we had in hand. We had statisticians, and we needed data scientists. So we have to capacity build them and make sure that they get the skills they need for that. The other one is lack of laws to govern use of data science, AI, and big data. I think this is a challenge which is cutting across the globe. Most of countries, they have not acknowledged data science, AI, and big data as a source of data for official statistics. So we also are having that challenge. We do not have legislation and laws which govern the use of big data and data science, artificial intelligence for official reporting. We also had a challenge of securing sufficient funds to cover all aspects of data science center. So for that, we had to get help from Statistics Sweden. So majorly, the infrastructure part of it was funded by Statistics Sweden, who came on board and helped in purchase of the computers and some of the furnitures we are using in data science training center. And then budgeting for ongoing costs related to technology upgrades and maintenance. Of course, finances, as we all know, they are limited. You can never have enough. So we have that costs related to technology upgrades and maintenance. And then also addressing skills gap within the current workforce. I think that is explained up there. We had challenges that we have statisticians and we needed data science scientists. So that meant we had to address that skill gap. So what plans do we have? To develop a roadmap and a strategic plan to ensure long-term impact and viability of the center. So we are planning to come up with a roadmap and a strategic plan, which gives us the direction of the data science training center. What are the activities? What are we supposed to do? When are we supposed to do? What are the expected results? And all that. We come up with a matrix with all that, so that we may be able at least to have a long-term impact of the center. We are also strengthening partnerships and collaborations because that is where we are going to draw our strength as a center. It's these collaborations and these partnerships which are bringing in the skills we need. They are also bringing in the resources we desire, and they are helping us to bridge the gap which we already have in the center. So increased the number of data scientists and support staff. So that is a future plan to hire data scientists to bridge the gap, and also support staff for the data science training center. We also have a plan of enhancing computational resources and data science, data storage capabilities. As I said, is that these technologies, they come with a lot of data, which is generated very, very fast, and they require very big storage capabilities. So that is something we are working on. And also we have regular updating of tools and technologies to keep pace with industry and advancement, because we all know these tools and these technologies, they are changing every day. They have versions every day, so we keep on updating them. Encouraging culture of innovation through hackathons, competitions, and collaborative projects. So we usually hold hackathons with our partners every year to encourage people to become innovative. And also we usually have collaborative projects. That is something we are also planning to keep on doing, so that we keep on strengthening the data science training center. Also implementing feedback loops to continuously refine processes and methodologies. Also develop new data products and services which are tailored to meet the stakeholders' needs. We are also planning on introducing advanced analytics and machine learning solutions for predictive and prescriptive analytics, and expand data visualization tools to improve data accessibility and decision making. Thank you so much. I would like to invite your question and answers.
Thank you, Zara, for the presentation. Now we'll open up the floor to comments and or questions as the guests may have on the presentation. Yes, thank you, Karen. First of all, let me congratulate you for that excellent presentation. Actually, it provides us with a comprehensive outlook and the perspective of what we're requiring, of what we're looking for, with a number of question marks. Now, going into more specific context, let me go back to a number of aspects that I found to be quite interesting that have to do with governance of data science. I believe this is a crucial topic. We also want to be covered by the experience of other contexts because we're incorporating these. This is a core issue, and I believe this is something that needs to be highlighted as something that needs to be pushed forward. Understanding the national statistics system, I feel this is also a relevant aspect. I frankly believe that I was looking at it within the NSO, and in fact, this is going to be our task. The task starts within our own institution, and I believe that we need to support a process throughout the entire statistics system in order to garner information that will be able to address key public policies, and this is what will be providing support to these initiatives throughout time. And something else that I found to be quite relevant that was mentioned, everything is quite substantive, but I'm just highlighting everything that drew my attention in the perspective of what we're dealing with, the issue of security. Although this is something that we all talk about, this is something very sensible in the context wherein information is being processed. talking about technologies or maybe potential hackings or poor use of the information is something that is quite sensible. Now we're reaching out to a number of state institutions in order to get access to the databases. And one of the core points that brings the process to a halt is precisely the issue of security. Something else that I want to highlight about the presentation is training. It is not a mere laboratory. It's not just a mere center for big data or data science center. On the contrary, it is a permanent training environment, high quality resources that will help us to make progress in terms of our training needs. And I believe this is a very significant resource because we're dealing with a highly competitive context, which involves maintaining and capturing human resources that will be at the forefront. So this is a significant challenge in all of these aspects that were covered, and being able to have state-of-the-art equipment in order to meet these needs is also essential. Perhaps one final item that I'd like to highlight is something that we need to work hard on, and experience tells us about legislation. This is an area in which you need to support the processes and the possibility of making this kind of information official. In this initial phase, we're thinking about working with experimental statistics, but if the outcome were to show both the quality and the robustness of these efforts in order to present it at the official statistics level, then this is where you find the void in the legislation, the gap. And this is something that needs to be addressed. These are my general comments. Congratulations. Thank you for making this available. This is something wonderful that NSOs have, which is they provide the possibility of exchanging and their solidarity. And also, thank you for this exchange. So thank you again to the whole technical team and to our peers from Kenya. Thank you, Karen. I don't know whether my colleagues here would like to ask any specific questions. Thank you. Yes, right. Let me check. Maybe the INE team has any additional questions or comments. Very well. I don't see any hands that are, so we may move on with the agenda. So next, we're going to have a presentation on the Kenyan experience, particularly on how to use web scraping for calculation. How are they using it for calculation for consumer price indexes? Because Paraguay NSO also has an interest in launching a pilot measurement project using this web scraping technique. So I'll give the floor to Nelson. Nelson. Thank you, everyone, for the presentation. I'm Nelson Ferreira. I'm working as a consultant for the Global Partnership. And I have a question, a specific question on your presentation. First of all, let me thank you because it was a very accurate, comprehensive presentation that addressed every single necessary aspect so that we may get a clearer idea on how to implement the data center at the Paraguay NSO. And regarding, my question is as follows, regarding the pilot projects for statistics operations, how do you measure the impact of these projects?
Okay, as I said, these are pilot, they are pilot projects And let me talk about each and every project. The impact of web scrapping. Of course, we are still exploring web scrapping, but then we are hoping to reduce the time taken for data collection, especially if the data can be collected from online shopping stores. And also for the other one, which is automation of quality checking. This is one of the projects which we have done successfully. Actually, we have implemented it. And how we measured the impact is by having it successfully flag off all the errors. I think this is one of the surveys which we did not even have time to sit down and talk about data cleaning, because the data was already clean, most of it, because we cleaned it before it even got into our server. So that is how we measured the impact, the errors which were generated out of the data. The other one is the estimation of carbon emissions from road transport. First of all, this project is an ongoing project. We have not fully implemented it because we're still hoping to keep on collecting data and using that data to predict the emissions. And one of the impact of the project was that it brought stakeholders together. First of all, we talked about quality data, and it was a wake-up call to the data, NSOs, to the organizations which are generating administrative data to also collect quality data, because at the end of the day, when we went direct to request data from them, we had to go through a lot to get quality data. We had to go through a lot of cleaning to make the data useful. So that was also an impact of the project when it comes to acquiring of the data from the organizations which are generating administrative data. The other one was the creation of household master sample framework. Of course, that one, we are using this sample every day. And how we are measuring impact of the project is that at the end of the day, now as we are going to do census of schools, we already have the data in our server. So we're just querying the data which we need. We are not going to start telling people now sit down, get your hard copy. This is where you're going to find this homestead and everything. You just query the data. It comes with coordinates and you're good to go. So you already know where you're supposed to be going using the coordinates. So it has reduced that task, a lot of work and time-consuming task of telling people to come and sit down and giving them hard copies and all that to go looking for the schools with the names which you have provided to them. So at the end of the day, you will find that we are going to use less time, even transport from one place to another, because you already know the coordinates of where you are going, and you're going to we are going to be able to conduct the survey within short time, because we're not going to consume a lot of time trying to find out where we are going. We already know exactly where we are going using the coordinates which are provided. When it comes to distance computing, this is like the way Google works. So we already know where you were supposed to go. And as the day progresses, because of traffic, at the end of the day, you're supposed to know which route you're supposed to take. In this one, we are doing for health facilities. We are using our population data, and we are trying to find time taken by a person to move from where they are to the nearest healthcare center. So that means when you are wherever you are able to know where you're supposed to do the route you're supposed to use at that particular time based on the traffic condition at the day. So how the impact of that, I can't talk about it because we have not yet brought it to the public for use. We are still having it as a exploration level. So maybe when we bring it out for the public to use, then we can be able to talk about the impact. But then we are hoping to have it impact people in that wherever you are, as long as you are within the country, you can be able to tell the nearest healthcare center and how you can access it during the particular time of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no further questions, I will now give the floor to my colleague, Anita.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for walking through that, and thank you, colleagues at INE for being so invested in this. We're now going to move to the case study about the exercise of web scraping. I know that you've touched on this, Sarah, but is there any other information you would like us to know, or if there's a presentation about this that goes a little bit more in depth?
Thank you, Anita. Actually, I did not come up with a presentation because web scraping is like we have the codes and the scripts. So I thought maybe the easiest thing would be to do demo. But then given the time which I saw there, it was not enough for demo. And maybe I can talk about web scraping based on the questions they have from their side, or rather based on what they want to know about web scraping. And maybe at one point, if they need to see the demo, we can organize for demo, which will take like a minimum of 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think it's 10 minutes, so we can possibly put that for another period and have you answer the questions that are relevant to this at this point. Over to you, Sarah.
Okay, so I don't know what I'm supposed to tell about web scraping. Maybe I can talk about the tools we are using for web scraping. So we are using R.
Just a light touch of the process to also be good to, yeah.
Okay, so we are using R for web scraping. And the reason why we are using, we had an option of using R or Python, but then we chose R because that is now what we had started with. And we are using, okay, we are web scraping from online stores, from a Naivas supermarket. We are using web scraping from Carrefour as well. Those are the biggest stores in the country, and that's why we are targeting them. So when we are web scraping, you can web scrap from as many stores as possible because you choose the particular store you want to web scrap from. If you are, like, let's say for example in Nairobi, and you want to web scrap from Naivas, Tom Mboya. So you choose Tom Mboya. When you web scrap from Tom Mboya and you want Westlands, you can go select now Naivas Westland, and so forth, and so on and so forth. You can do the same for Carrefour. So also at the end of the day, if you're going to web scrap from all the stores in the country, you can just imagine how much data you are going to generate from the web scrapping. And now when we had a meeting with a CPI team, they told us now we can classify the items as per the KOICOP codes. So going forward, we are going to be web scrapping as per the KOICOP, which will make the work easier for the people who are computing CPI, because now when they come as per the classifications, it means there is no much of sorting and cleaning of the data. So that means we will have like classified the data we are web scrapping, and it will make the work easier. So also when we are web scrapping, we have okay, the data we generate in CSV as of now, but then we are hoping to automate it and be able maybe to have it in different formats, including Excel, CSV, and if possible, if you can be able to have them in other machine readable formats. That is when we are planning to automate the web scraping process, because that one means at the end of the day, it has to be generated and automated up to the production of CPI. And that is our ultimate goal, to automate it and also integrate it with the data which we collect from market. As you know, from Kenya, we have open air market. So we have people who purchase from supermarkets. We have people who purchase from online stores. And we also have people who also purchase from open air. We collect data from both, so we hope that by the end of the process, we are going to be able to integrate both data sources and automate generation of CPI. That's what we are hoping. We are also using Selenium in our web scraping, and because sometimes some of the websites are protected, and Selenium helps us to bypass some of the protections. And let me clarify this. We have talked to Naivas, we have talked to Carrefour, and they have given us the permission to access their website as long as we are not tampering with their information and also the functions of their website. So that is something we had to work on, because we thought maybe because of data ethics, we needed to talk to them. We needed to have them know that we are using their data from their websites to generate our CPI, just like the way we collect them from physical stores. We also collect data from their physical stores. So we just wanted to know that we are also accessing data from their online stores, and we were doing that using a code. And we also web scrap data for real estates. That one we started a long time ago. So what we do, also you know that it's hard to get data from these real estate companies because of competition. But then the best thing is because they have put all these prices in their websites. So for that one, we go. We scrap that data and we use it for also the production and for reporting. And that one we have been doing it for quite some time because we were unable to get data from them because of their competition. And they also saw that there's a loophole because most of them, they think that when you give data, it's like you're also killing your business and sharing information with your competitors. So we opted to use their data from their website, which we acquired through web scraping. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Are there any questions regarding this? I think walking through the data ethics is quite useful because in Kenya, as our colleagues in Paraguay might know, we also have the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner, and we have data protection guidelines that we need to follow. So I think that was a useful addition. Any questions, comments for Sarah?
So I did not get you. Sorry, Anita.
Apologies, it might be my headphones. Can you hear me now?
Anita, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I was saying thank you so much, Sarah, for walking us through that. As I was mentioning, we have the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner in Kenya, and we do have data protection, data protection policy that we do need to follow. So adding that, we went to seek out the permission of the supermarkets before actually carrying out this project was a good addition, because we just have to be mindful of the different institutions that we're working with and ensuring that we're aligning with the current policy. So I was asking if anyone has any question regarding this or anything else that Sarah mentioned during our talk.
I'm going to ask a question regarding the last information on the use of web scrapping. This information of these reports, do they have some sort of an official use? How do you channel this? What would be the mechanism whereby society would get access to this information?
Okay, the information is available for the society, but then as long as we are exploring, then it means that the project is not complete. So when we can't share a project which is not complete, so we only share the projects which are complete. But then if it's about learning from each other, like now when it comes to web scrapping, we can share, we can exchange the ideas between the NSOs for implementation and exploration purpose, till now the point whereby we are able now to integrate both data sets from field and also from online stores. Then we can share them to the public for official reporting. But when it comes to sharing between NSOs, that is something we do always. We always talk to each other, we share the information, but then we don't do it for official statistics reporting before it is complete.
Okay, perfect. Basically, so this is information for experimental purposes. When using these kinds of statistics, the check that you do on the quality, on the accuracy, how good is the quality of the statistics that you are producing? How are you doing this?
Okay, how good is the quality of the statistics we are producing using web scrapping? Of course, it's high quality because they are the same prices I would have collected if I went to the physical store. So the prices which I'm getting from online store, they are the same prices which I would have gotten if I went to the physical store. So the data is the same. It's of high quality, is same data. Now the challenge is integrating both physical and the web scrapped data. Because at the end of the day, as I said, here is that we have to come up with a way of making sure this data, they communicate to each other. Because we have open air, which is like, it's not a store, it's not an official store. It's an open air market whereby I can go purchase the rice and get it measured with an non-standard measure. I can go get maybe maize measured using an non-standard measure. So at the end of the day, I have more options of getting from the store or from the market, open air market. So we need to integrate this data. We need to take care of these people who are also purchasing their goods from open air. And also, this is based on the data we collect to come up with weights and how to base our CPR. So if our weights show that we have a bigger number of people who are purchasing from stores, and we have also number of people who are also purchasing from open air, then we have to consider them at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, we need to have these two data together. We have to work with these two data together. So it doesn't mean that the data which we have scrapped is poor quality. It's of high quality. It's the same data I would have gotten from the same store if I went there. But then we need to come up with a system which is combining both data so that we may automate the entire process of CPI production.
Right. Thank you so much. Well, when dealing with that, also in terms of the outcome, you check with the consumer price index, does the NSO in Kenya deal with the consumer price index, or is it conducted by a different institution? And this allows you to get continuous statistics. I can deal with the consumer price index on a daily basis, and you do that monitoring in order to ensure that this is part of the experimental statistics effort in order to get an idea on how to work on this field?
Okay, when it comes to production of consumer price index, we produce it monthly, and we report at the end of the month, the last day of the month. And about the project, as I said, we are exploring, and we are yet to come up with a conclusive product, which is now automated CPI production. And that one cannot be produced every day. Of course, production of CPI is costly. And even if we are going to web scrap every day, even if we automate the production of CPI every day, we are not going to be able to produce CPI and report every day, based on the fact that we're still going to consider that data we are going to collect from the field. And we cannot collect data from field every day. We usually have a specific period where we go to the market and collect that data. So we're still going to be collecting the data on those specific dates, and we are going to be reporting monthly as usual, because of the consideration of data which has to be collected from the field. Otherwise, if all the data was available from online stores, maybe we would talk about generating CPI daily. But then the fact is that we still have to work on data which is not available online, then it means that it's impossible to produce CPI every day.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, for taking part in that. I think we've come to the end of the agenda. I think it's questions and comments. So I'll give us the floor in case anyone has anything they'd like to ask about. It doesn't have to be about just the CPI project, but anything before that, or any comments about this entire process.
I don't know if my colleagues here have any questions.
Okay, if anyone doesn't have any question or comments, before we close, we would like to take a picture with everyone to showcase this, the first. Oh, I see Lillian has a question. Lillian, yes.
I'm sorry, Lillian has just raised her hand. But yes.
Go ahead, Lillian.
Yes, good morning from Paraguay. Most of all, I'd like to thank you for the exchange and the Kenya experience. We see many questions that are linked to our country's realities in the face of this new challenge that we're facing at the NSO here, and through the experience and the challenges and how you started out with developing this process. It's quite helpful, and it will further enrich this ongoing project. I'd like to thank you. And my takeaway is we see a lot of benchmarks, shared benchmarks that will help us to move forward along this process at the Paraguay NSO.
Thank you so much, Lilian. Yes, we do see a lot of how we can learn from one another. I think that's the main reason behind this, is to promote a lot of collaboration amongst NSOs in different contexts who are going through very different challenges, but have come up with something that is truly unique to their context, and that's something that we can bring to other countries and learn from. So before we close, if we could kindly switch on our cameras for one picture to just showcase this event. Karen is going to be taking the picture for us. So if everyone could kindly switch on the cameras for 5 minutes. Karen, are you able to take the picture? I see some people have come on video.
Okay, again, thank you so much. As Anita just said, this will be the first of many exchanges. We will continue to support Paraguay along the process, building the experimental statistics projects, the check of strategies for building a data center, and we will continue to move forward with pilot projects. And so have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you again. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.